Hey, welcome back in today's video. We're going to be taking a look at Kai The Hitchhiker. This was a sub-Sunday request from Connie. And that's right, Greg. I don't know if you hear Greg in there, but he's very excited to be here. He's very excited to see you. If you're unfamiliar with Kai The Hitchhiker, Kai The Hatchet Wielding Hitchhiker is an internet viral video featuring a hitchhiking man identified as Caleb Lawrence Kai McGillvary. It was released on February 2nd of 2013 by a reporter from a local news station in California. The video went viral and received national attention in the press.
Before I say anything else, I want to say no matter what you've done, you deserve respect. Even if you make mistakes, you're lovable. And it doesn't matter your looks, skills, or age, or size, or anything, you're worthwhile. No one could ever take that away from you. Tenor, he says, oh, when I was in the Virgin Islands, 30 years old on a business trip, I f***ed this 14-year-old. I was like, you what? He's like, I f***ed this 14-year-old, starts crying, gives me a big hug. He's like a 300-pound guy. I'm like, oh, shit. Comes driving down this way. He's like, you know what? I come to realize I'm Jesus Christ, and I can do anything I f***ing want to. And watch this, bam, and he smashed into this f***ing guy right there, pinned him in between that f***ing truck. If you started driving that car around again, man, there would have been a hell of a lot of bodies around here. And then f***ing Buddy gets out, and these two women are trying to help him. He runs up and he grabs one of them, man. Like a guy that big can snap a woman's neck like a pencil stick. So I ran up behind him with a hatchet, smash, smash, smash. Yeah.
The video went completely viral on the internet, especially because somebody remixed it into a song.
People said don't hitchhike. Well, good thing I was hitchhiking. That woman was in danger. So I ran up behind him with a hatchet. Smash, smash, smash. Yeah, yeah.
He even made an appearance on the Jimmy Kimmel Live show.
Have another little hoop above with the chains dangling down beneath that one, tied up to a tree so I could drape tarps across that.
Right.
And then on the inside, have like some bed sheets with some moss in there for insulation. Then you can put like a crab trap there on the inside of a hot water tank heater.
Right.
Yeah. You can burn some wood in there. That would be really awesome to go surfing like that.
And you were going to do all that with a hatchet? What, is this some magic hatchet that you have that you wave and things, contractors appear?
Nah, I'm just a badass.
During his 2 hours of testimony, Kai explained in more detail the events leading up to the crash, including how he and Jet McBride stopped in the Tower District to buy and smoke marijuana.
He's like, well, I've come to realize I'm Jesus Christ and I get away with anything I want to. Watch this. And I look up and there's a whole crew of construction people in front of me, and most of them jumped aside and one dude got pinned underneath.
While PG&E worker Rayshawn Neely was pinned, Kai says McBride then turned on several people who tried to help.
He's still holding on to her, so I smashed him again, and he's still holding on to her hair. I was like, that's your butt. I smashed him real good hard.
There really wasn't a lot known about Kai other than what he said in his viral video.
Can I get your name and where you're from, if you don't mind?
I'm Kai.
Kai? Can I get spelling for you, buddy?
Straight out of Dogtown, K-A-I.
K-A-I, do you have a last name?
No, bro, I don't have anything.
Where are you from originally? Are you from Fresno area?
Sophia, West Virginia.
No kidding. How old are you?
I can't call it.
Okay. What, have you ever experienced anything like today? And what made you take the actions that you did?
That woman was in danger.
It can be verified on his public Facebook page that he was from Sophia, West Virginia. But it seemed like Kai was hiding something, and it turns out that answers would be given soon after. In a very personal interview with KMPH on their 10 o'clock news channel, back on February 7th of 2013, he goes in depth and talks about the trauma that he went through as a child, the emotional and physical abuse, and talks about why he tells people that he's from West Virginia, and in depth on a lot of his beliefs on life. And you can tell that he has a real genuine love for people. From the persona that we have displayed from Kai, we see a very charismatic, caring for the people type of person. However, just 3 months after this, he was arrested for murder. And to understand the situation, we need to understand a little bit more about who Kai is.
Not even worrying about Kai first.
I don't have any family. Like, as far as anybody I grew up with is concerned, I'm already dead, so whatever.
It would later be discovered that Kai's real name is Caleb Lawrence Gilvery. He was born September 3rd of 1988 in Canada. Lisa Rose of NJ.com wrote, this article was posted May 22nd of 2013. At the time of this article, 24-year-old Caleb McGillvary, as he is legally known, isn't from West Virginia. He was born and raised in Canada, where his estranged parents reacted with horror to the allegations their son fatally bludgeoned a 73-year-old New Jersey lawyer, Joseph Galfrey. His father, Gil McGillvary, goes on to say that Caleb had a very tough life, that him and his mother, Shirley, divorced when he was just the age of 4. The article goes on to say that he was in treatment homes until he turned 18, and then they cut him loose and washed their hands of him. Gil McGillvary said Caleb made accusations that he was physically and mentally abused at one of the homes. The system let my son down. His mother Shirley says that Caleb graduated high school and that as a child he was a complete delight. She said that at the time of this article she hadn't spoken to her son, and at some time he must have illegally crossed the border into the United States, where he began traveling. Shirley says that her son's claim that his family didn't care about him isn't true. He has family that misses him. She said he has a family that loves him. There have been attempts, but with no way of contacting him. He knows my number. The number hasn't changed. If he calls, wants our help, we're there for him. I do find some of the things with the timeline just really don't match up with what Shirley is saying. If you go to Caleb's Facebook page and you look at the times of the pictures that are posted, it looks like he arrived in the States around way earlier in the year, not around fall. I think one picture in March where he was actually still in Canada. This post on March 10th of 2013, someone actually says in the comments that this was in Canada. On May 10th, McGillvary wrote a disturbing Mother's Day essay on his Facebook wall in which he alleged that he was beaten by family members from the age of 2 and locked alone in the room for 20 hours a day. When he acted out, according to the essay, he was hit with brooms and pushed into cold showers. His mother said that the claims were untrue and the essay was a manifestation of her son's mood disorders. She said she did not want to elaborate on the nature of his behavioral issues. And this is most likely attributed to why he was removed from the home and put into treatment facilities, where he said that he suffered the same sort of abuse. And then he left the treatment centers and then was put into an adoptive family. And it looks like, as far as I know, he had no issues with that family. The article goes on to say that McGillvary had been in Pennsylvania jail held without bail since he was arrested on that Thursday at Philadelphia bus station. The Union County Prosecutor's Office is seeking to extradite him to New Jersey, where he will face murder charges in the death of Galfrey, a Clark resident partner in Rothway Law Firm. I think I said that wrong. Rawway Law Firm? It said that Kai met Galfrey in Times Square in New York City. I'm guessing this was around the time that he was actually doing the Jimmy Kimmel live shoot. And Galfrey invited him back to his home. Authorities have not released a motive. In a Facebook post, McGillvary claimed that he was drugged and assaulted. This is actually the last post that Kai has ever put on his Facebook page. It says, "What would you do if you woke up groggy head, metallic taste in your mouth in a stranger's house? Walked to the mirror and seen cum dripping from the side of your face from your mouth and started retching, realizing that someone had drugged and yeah, what would you do?" Now, this was supposedly made after he fled the scene where Galfrey was allegedly murdered. I read into the specifics of it, and it said that Galfrey was beaten. He had skull fractures, rib fractures, 73-year-old man. It looks bad, but there is more details that I'll get into towards the end of the video. When Kai was arrested in 2013, he had been held for 6 years of his life, awaiting trial. His father said it's innocent until proven guilty. Where's the murder weapon? When did it happen? Where are the questions? That boggles my mind. He said he was stunned when he first heard about his son's name in connection with this murder.
Former internet star Kai The Hitchhiker faces up to life in prison after being found guilty of first-degree murder. 30-year-old Caleb Kai McGillvary was convicted of killing 73-year-old attorney Joseph Galfrey in May of 2013. Galfrey's body was found in his Clark home. McGillvary was arrested in Philadelphia days later. Sentencing is scheduled for June 13th. He gained internet fame in an interview describing how he used a hatchet to defend a California utility worker who was being attacked.
So he finally went to trial, Just a couple days ago, on May 30th of 2019, he did get the guilty plea. He got 57 years. The details are, the article goes on to say that the jury took less than 2 days to find McGillvary guilty of the beating, following a 3-week trial that included a slew of outbursts from the defendants. So it looks like McGillvary, aka Kai, was shouting about his innocence during the trial. The judge actually spoke to Kai, saying, "You are crafty, cunning, disingenuous, and manipulative." Kirsch told McGillvary, "You are a powder keg of explosive rage." Prosecutors say McGillvary was hitchhiking across the country when he met Galfrey. The attorney invited the then 24-year-old back to his Jersey home for a seemingly innocent encounter that ended with Galfrey suffering a broken neck, shattered ribs, skull fractures, and several contusions. He was found face down in bed wearing his underwear and socks. The defense argued that Kai was drugged and he passed out, and when he woke, Galfrey was over top of him, taking advantage of him. And at that point, Kai defended himself, kicking him several times from his back, and fled the scene. When McGillvary gave a statement in court, he said he'd met tens of thousands of people during his travels and never hurt them. "The hundreds of people I've stayed with now question, why didn't Kai hurt us? Because the trial didn't answer those questions, but my character does," McGillvary said. His voice raised. "My character for helping people is why people were safe with me." Another YouTuber by the name of WavyWebSurf did a really good video on Kai. I highly recommend it. I'm going to put it in the description for you guys to check out. At the end of the video, he actually has words from Kai about the situation. I'm going to let you listen to that now.
Here's a special message from Kai to the people of YouTube. Check it out.
You're the type of people who want to know the truth. You have more in common with me than you realized before now. You've probably thought before this that some who are in positions of power have abused their power to prey on vulnerable people in society. You've probably even realized they form groups to cover for each other and get away with things. So how would you feel if, after a lawyer drugs and rapes you, and you fight him off while under the influence of date-rape drugs, he dies from his injuries? Then you're arrested by the head prosecutor, who's friends with the rapist, and brought before a judge whose boss, the head judge, was the rapist's former law partner. They make fun of you instead of taking you for a drug analysis or rape kit. And they let the rapist's brother, the chief of police, into an active crime scene where evidence is destroyed by the investigators. The dishwasher got run in an active crime scene, destroying evidence of drugs in drink glasses before they were even told that the rapist had slipped drugs into a drink glass. So at least one of the investigators knew how the rapist Galfrey was drugging hitchhikers. Not to mention knowing he was doing it in the first place. They destroyed the carpet the rape happened on. They destroyed video of me cutting my hair before going to the rapist. They even brought beer bottles from the house to the crime lab 2 months later to rinse out any drug residue. That's known as framing someone. Me, to be exact. And they must have thought, this dumb hippie hitchhiker is too stupid and isolated to do anything about it. For you and me, friends, we also got in common that I'm not stupid. I took one look at the crime scene photos showing the evidence they destroyed, a double take at their brazen admissions in their police reports, and I was like, hell the fuck no. I posted them on Facebook. I filed federal lawsuits. I went to the press, because this isn't the golden age of raping hitchhikers and sweeping it under the rug anymore. This is the age of Twitter and exposing creeps to do shit like this. They're trying to say you can't defend yourself against rape anymore. The law says you can, and so can I. So if you don't fight them, they'll take that away from us. So here I am, exposing these creeps for not only myself and you, but for our families and the next generation of innocent travelers. But I'm just one man, and I need your help. Without your presence, without your voice calling them out on their corruption, they'll steamroll over the underdog like they've done to hundreds, if not thousands, of poor travelers before me. So I think if you spread the truth online, if you help me expose them, together we can make a change. But hey, what do I know? I'm only a man.
There's also a legal support Facebook page, and it keeps up with updates. May 30th was the last post. It says that Kai was sentenced 57 years in prison today, but he'll be appealing and he will win. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll put it in the description below for you guys as well. And I want to leave this question with you guys. It does look like Kai was given a bad rap. I mean, he was in prison for 6 years awaiting trial, and it looks like everyone that was involved in the case was friends with Galfrey in general, and it does look like there was evidence that was messed with, things that impeded on the justice. In the video from WavyWebSurf, he had a list of points that some mistakes that he made in a previous video before this one. I felt like it was pretty important that I probably go over these because it's going to add a lot of good context to this whole situation, so you can better decide what your opinion is on this matter. So number 1, social services removed Kai from abusive birth parents. It wasn't the child's fault, it was the adults. Kai wasn't at fault for that. He was 11 years old at the time. Kai doesn't have behavioral or emotional problems. He is well adjusted and forms healthy relationships. Number 3, Kai was not causing problems out on the street or otherwise. Number 4, Kai's claims of sexual and physical abuse as a small child were directed at his birth parents, as well as his claims against Bosco Homes as a young teen. The Bosco Homes is the facilities that he went in when he was a child. Number 5 is Kai has a heroic and endearing love of society, not an overall distrust. Deep within his heart, he is not antisocial, which we've seen demonstrated throughout this video. Number 6 is Kai did not viciously beat Jet Simmons McBride. This was the guy from the hatchet video that went viral. The court record shows that Kai struck Simmons in the head with the hatchet 3 times in a lawful and controlled manner to subdue Simmons' violent attack on innocent people. He did hit McBride with the blunt side of the hatchet. Number 7 is Kai's intervention with McBride was not only violent and deadly force, it was proven in court to be legally justified. That's right, Greg, legally justified. Number 8 is Kai has never committed a slashing. He used justified force in defense of another. Number 9 is Kai was in California after appearing on Jimmy Kimmel from February to April 2013, not homeless in NYC. Number 10 is Kai kicked Galfrey away from himself from his back on the floor. Even the prosecutor admitted that the majority of the injuries to Galfrey came from kicks, not fists. Now this seems like a really big deal. Number 11 is Kai did not go on the run. Even the prosecutor admitted in press conference that Kai was not hiding, he was out in the open. And number 12 is Kai didn't viciously beat Galfrey. Kai struck Galfrey in self-defense. There was no viciousness on Kai's part, which would imply malice. There was only panic, terror, and that's right, Greg. Seems like you got a raw deal. And I really want to know what your guys' thoughts are about this. As always, I'm going to put all sources in the description below so you guys can formulate your own opinions. And if there's stuff I missed, let me know in the description below, and I will try to fix that for you. Other than that, and as interesting as this is, there's always something that's more interesting to me. That's right, you guessed it. I want to know what you think, so why don't you go ahead and leave your creative and or interesting responses in the comment box below. Thumbs up for this, like as always, brothers and sisters. I will see you in the next video. I mean, it's really hard to say. You do get to dive in and see that there are some behavior issues in the past, and that he did come from a very troubled past and childhood in general, and that probably weighed on the jury's opinions, but I don't know what evidence that they gave during the trial. But I do feel like him being held for 6 years for trial was not good. And if he did illegally cross the border, shouldn't he have been extradited back to Canada? I'm really not sure or know anything about those types of things. But I do want to say, if you didn't know, on a lighter note, we have the Let's Stop Animal Abuse shirt that was released just 3 days ago, and we've sold hundreds of dollars for charity, and I'm going to keep it up till June 30th. As you can see, it's verified charity. 100% proceeds goes towards that. The front says, "Me and Repzilla saved lives," and it also comes in black, and this is the first of many I'm going to do, and hopefully I can do it a little bit better, but it gives you a brief history of ASPCA. It's provide effective means to prevention of cruelty of animals, and it's a good way to show that you're repping if you're not repping your Greg. And how do you do that? All you do is subscribe, notifications turned on, be in the comment section for every single video, because I'm going to be there, Greg the cat's going to be there, and the rest of the Repzilla community as well. And I expect to see you there too, because this channel loves you. And looks like my camera just died on us, so just gonna sit here and I'm gonna do the clap out. I don't really know what to do here. Yep.